You found out that one of your past lives did something that's not so great. What do we do now? I'm going to share something that I found in one of my clients' Akashic Records in case it unlocks and activates something for you as well. And remember to give a follow so you can stay up to date on more Akashic Records sessions. I really enjoy when people leave their session open because there's a multitude of things that can come through. Not that you have to leave them open. Sometimes people want to focus on things specifically, but the open ones, it's a free-for-all. So when I connected with my client, I asked her, how is your spiritual awakening journey? How are you with your channeling and energy healing gifts? And she said, well, I feel restricted and blocked, that I'm not able to access the full totality of myself. And before I had gotten on this session, I had done some pre-channeling as well. And one of the things that her higher self had mentioned, that she was stepping into a new level of authenticity, like her true multidimensional self. And so that resonated. And when I asked her, well, why do you think that you might be blocked? What's going on there? I love when people are able to speak their truth with so much confidence. And when she was telling me this story, I was like, you go, girl. Because when I was younger in the beginning stages of my journey, I would have been like nervous to tell somebody this. But when she was talking, because it was her truth, it was coming from her soul, it's something that she really experienced. And then when you are stepping into that authentic version of yourself, that requires a lot of vulnerability and just saying things like it is, and however somebody else interprets it is how they interpret it. When she told me, I was like, I'm fully understanding what you're saying, girl. Okay, so she told me that in one of her different incarnations that she was a wizard. Now, she had the ability to open up portals. There was this group of persons who, let's say cult-like, that were trying to infiltrate this specific star system. Who knows what kind of damage would have been incurred because of that. This wizard opened up a portal, or closed a portal, if you will, so they would not be able to access that system. And in doing that, it cut off the connection for other beings to be able to travel back to their home because of it being closed. And there were souls that were trapped within that time and space that were not able to move back and forth through the dimensional planes. So, okay. How do you think that that is affecting you in this one? She told me that she has a spirit guide who is reminiscent of a parole officer and has been with her through multitudes of incarnations, that has placed some restrictions on her magic. And I said, well, why did you agree to that? I can understand with the wizard timeline, but you are your own sovereign being in this one. And I could tell that didn't really seem like a viable option to say no. One, because if you have done something with your magic that seems kind of horrendous, maybe you do want to have a parole officer kind of in the background back here, checking what you're doing. I was explaining that, yes, you are one soul. However, you have a completely different lifetime. Your actions are not reminiscent of the things that he has done. It's not fair to be punished or to punish yourself to have all of these limitations put on you when you could be the one that goes in and heals what has happened. Because she said that was part of her soul mission in this incarnation, is to help the souls move on from that timestamp. She said that she had actually been to that place where the portal has created already and done some healing there. And I said, well, have you talked to the souls that were trapped one-to-one? And she said, no. I had this feeling one day that I had done some transmutation alchemization work, and I think some of the souls have passed on. I said, okay. Have you ever gone in to ask this wizard why he did that in the first place? And she was like, no. I said, well, why not? She said, I hadn't really thought about it before. I said, let me give you a scenario. What if this wizard saved millions of people? And yes, there were people that were trapped in those spaces, What do you think that those persons would say if that was what happened? Like, hey, millions of people were kept from something like horrendous happening, and this wizard man had to make a very quick decision in order to save them. She said, I think they would have a bit more understanding of why everything happened. I said, why do you think that that wizard man showed up in your field in this incarnation for you to see that memory? And she said, oh, probably because I can help move those souls and heal that timeline. And I said, yeah, girl. I said, you have been carrying around a lot of shame and guilt for what has transpired. Maybe that wizard had the foresight of you being in existence in the future and being able to remedy what has been done. I said, what would you have done in that situation? And I know that is an incredibly hard decision that would create an immense amount of pain and consequences for those persons, for those persons and for that wizard himself. But if it's to save millions of people, what would you have done? She said, I would have done the same thing. I said, now what if you knew that a version of yourself in the future would be able to clean up what had happened? She said, that would have done it for me. I would have went through with it. I said, if we're of the understanding that everybody is from source and we're all different perspectives of one another, we have all committed atrocities and made poor decisions and have hurt others. What we can do is learn to grow and evolve and become self-aware and love others, love ourselves. And this is not to excuse behavior, but we need to create forward movement. Seeping in a ton of shame and guilt, if you're not doing anything about it, yeah, that's not helping anybody. But if we are becoming a more evolved version of ourselves every single day, that is how we heal these things that have happened throughout existence. That's you as a soul, is what I was saying to her. Yeah, that happened. And again, it's kind of a toss-up between whether that was a positive or negative situation. But with you putting restrictions on yourself like this in this incarnation with your magic, who knows who you are missing being able to help and support just because this thing happened over here. I said, I think you need to rewrite that contract with the parole officer guide and ask a team of spirit guides to be on your path that can help you see things in different perspectives and help you see the consequences, and consequences isn't the right word, but the outcomes of different decisions before you make them. But then again, life is about experiences. Things just happen sometimes. They play out how they are meant to play out, and sometimes you're part of that role. I asked her how she felt about everything, and she said, I feel like a huge weight has been taken off of me. And I have a better understanding of what happened with the wizard man, and I'm able to show myself a lot more grace and compassion. And I feel that I got reconnected back in with my magic, and it's not such a negative or over looming thing and feeling so much pressure what if I make another mistake. I said, yay. Okay, we need to understand that yes, all of these different versions of us are us, but you have sovereignty in your own perspectives and experiences, and we cannot always tie our worthiness or love or magic or consciousness to them. We are also our own beings. So I would love to hear in the comments if this resonated with you, if it unlocked and activated something, and I hope you have a super magical day.